Well, folks, something we've been wanting for and hoping for a long, long time is finally on the horizon. We've been wanting a form of a new player or entry-level product for a long time. And sure, there have been rumors, speculation, always so much speculation, and hints, but this week it finally happened. We have the info, description, the price point, and even some spoilers. So yes, there's a lot of excitement around this, but as you'd expect, some questions as well. Not the least of which for me is ultimately who this product is actually targeted for. Not in concept, of course, but in reality, who does this product really appeal to most? A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. Thank you very much for tuning in today for all the excitement and discussion around the announcement this week of Classic Battles. It's about 24 hours old, and yeah, my girl Dorinthea in there. No way, I wasn't going to talk about this, man. So the promise for tonight, though, is you guys know how I feel about speculation, especially baseless speculation. We're just going to talk about the facts as we know them, and then I want to give my take on what we do know, and then some things that we can look for in the next coming months to determine whether this will be a really good product, mediocre product, or whatever. I mean, either way, look at this thing. It looks really freaking awesome, so they did a great job with the presentation, but they always do, right? They always do over there. So tonight's cast is sponsored by our friends over at FabDB. You guys know them. You guys love them. Best resource we have on the web for Flesh and Blood stuff. Go ahead, head on over there. Collection management, deck building, deck searching. You can go look for all those ProQuest decks that you maybe weren't in the top 8 and listed on the website, LSS's website. Great resource over there. When you're over there, consider upgrading your account, unlock all sorts of extra features. And again, thanks to our friends over at FabDB. All right, guys, so this Classic Battles, right? Dorinthea versus Rhinar. I do want to give a shout out. I know some of you guys had seen this box art I'd worked up before. I was thinking that when they did it, it was going to be Dorinthea versus Bravo, but I sure as heck did not expect it to be a new hero. Or I should say a unique hero, right? I thought maybe if they did a 2-player set and it was going to be a new hero, they would fit in with the next base set, which, to be fair, could still happen, right? It could still happen. I mean, likely not, because we see Dorinthea Quicksilver Prodigy, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I'm pulling up right now is the sell sheet, kind of, right? So we haven't actually seen this firmly announced on LSS's, at least as of the time I'm shooting this, we haven't seen it firmly announced on LSS's site, but we have I wouldn't quite call it a leak, the announcement over at PhD, which is a distributor, right? So you see pre-order with PhD today, that's not you as the consumer, that's for retailers can pre-order it, right? So designed to welcome new players to the world of Fab, Classic Battles Rhinar versus Dorinthea includes 2 40-card decks ready to play, so 2 Blitz decks, cold foil hero and weapon cards, that's pretty bad, rainbow foil equipment, which means you get equipment with it, which is pretty cool, full art mentors, ooh, that's interesting, I wonder if the ones from before are rearing their heads, a quick start playmat, and 48-page illustrated lore booklet. Okay, that booklet is very, very important because I know people were very excited about the lore book. It's a booklet, right? It's going to be probably a little, it'll probably be like this big, right? It'll probably be like, I don't know, not your normal card size like you used to get like in the old, Magic starter decks. It'll probably be a little bigger, 3x5, 4x6, something like that, whatever the size of the box is, right? I'm sure it'll look very nice, but no, it is not a lore book, ladies and gentlemen. For $50, no way. So, and a 48 illustrated lore book telling the tale of these heroes and how their classic battle became stuff of legend. So it is Fab 2201, MSRP of $50, $49.90, $50 make you holla. All right, so, and then we of course saw the Dorinthea spoiler, as well as the card fan behind her, which does, it's very clearly a Dorinthea specialization. Which is interesting, and it doesn't look, it's not one that we've already seen. So that's that. That's the product itself. Now what was I talking about with all this other stuff first? So first, the most obvious thing on this is absolutely 100% in theory. This is targeted at new players. I mean, there's really no question about it. You look at it and it specifically says designed to get new players into it. But the $50 price point's a big deal, right? I mean, I don't think I'm alone in that. Actually, I know I'm not because I've seen people talking about it. That's high. Now, if it's a really good product, I don't think that's a gatekeeper, but it's worth noting. So, I mean, again, I think something in the $25 to $30 range US is obviously probably better, would be better. I know a lot of the commander decks go for, I think, like $40, right? So I don't think this one's completely out to lunch. So I want to grant them that. I just think that, we've been fighting price has been crashing like crazy on Fab, but we've been fighting the Fab as a rich person's game, collector's game, however you want to say the mantra, right? We've been fighting that for a long time. And I don't think this helps, right? And that said, this looks like a really great product. I haven't been a huge fan of the Blitz decks, the Blitz precons, because they really needed a lot of tricking out. So if these are truly like out of the box, like legit playable, which it looks like they could be, then that's awesome. Now, kind of my point here so that's what it's attractive to new players, sure, with that exception on the price. The other reason, though, where my head here, the point of this is I do kind of feel, though, that this is almost targeted more towards existing players. And there's a couple caveats to that of what we will find out in the next couple months. But, the cold foil thing, almost seems like it's going for people that already are in the game, to me. And again, I'm not poo-pooing on the cold foil thing. It's awesome. Like, it's great. But, is the price point higher because of the cold foils? Probably not. But is somebody going to be like, is a new player going to be like, I'm willing to spend $10 more because it's cold foils? I don't think they are, right? So, the cold foil thing, it is what it is. No big deal there either way, but it's worth considering. And then the other part of this is, obviously, one can assume that there's going to be a new Rhinar as well, right? So we see Dorinthea there. I don't really want to go too much into her or the strategy. She looked really freaking cool. Love my girl. That said, this being a unique card, you're going to want to go get it as a player, especially if it ends up being good. I mean, we don't know what her weapon does, but like she looks like she could be very good. So does every player have to go out and get this box? And then is it set up in the, kind of the typical starter deck gotcha kind of way where that spec behind her, like let's say that spec is really good and there's only one of them in there. Or let's say even worse, there's two of them in there, but it's really good in Classic Constructed. So now you still need to go buy two of these, right? So because it's a Blitz deck. So max, like best case scenario, this Blitz deck will come with 2 copies of the spec. So if you want to play it if you want 3 copies in CC for Dorinthea, right? Because it's Dorinthea specialization. So if you want 3 copies of it, you're going to have to go buy 2 of these. So then what kind of pressure does that put on the print run of these? So you assume everybody who wants to be competitive has got to go out and get them, times 2. How many are going to be left for new players? I mean, I've seen plenty of people asking on Discords and already. I was like, we need to go out and pre-order these. Well, it's not new players going out and asking to pre-order them, right? So you have this product that is very, very, very attractive. And I want to be very, very clear here. I'm not poo-pooing on the idea from LSS. They've created an attractive product people want to go buy. That's good for them. Like, I'm not poo-pooing on that. And if they can, sell it to print run and make enough and they do it again, and then there's a whole bunch on the shelves that end up getting degraded in price, and then they're $40 and people are buying them as new people, then great, right? Mission accomplished. So again, not poo-pooing on that of it. But hopefully I've made my point clear here in my ramblings that this does seem like it's an attractive product for the established player more so than the new player, right? And it is going to be a bummer if we have to go buy multiples of these to get our playsets. That's going to feel bad. Now, the exception to that will be we have the new core set coming out shortly after. So if it turns out that these new heroes feed into the new core set in some way, and like maybe Dorinthea's new specialization, glistening, whatever, maybe glistening whatever is in the new base set, then it becomes completely, right? All of the stuff I just said becomes relatively completely irrelevant unless you're completely after the cold foils, right? So that very well could be the case, right? And so that's where I think the divide lies. It's like, do I think is this new player focused? Yes. Does it seem to be more attractive to the established player? I think so. And is this a good product for the community? Is this not a good product for the community in terms of, do I have to go out and buy multiples, or can I get the cards in another fashion? That is yet to be determined, right? So that is really where I'm going to be looking for this. I mean, and the thing is, you're not going to know until it's out, right? Which is kind of a gotcha, because then everybody's going to run out, buy 2 of these, and then maybe spoiler season starts and everybody realizes. So either way, it's a feel bad, right? So either you don't get them in the next set, or because it's releasing before, you already bought them and then they come out in the next set, right? So that's kind of it's not kind of a feel bad. That's basically a damned if you do, damned if you don't feel bad, unless you want the cold foil part of it. But in which case, I don't think that's a new player thing. So anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I want to be, hopefully I wasn't sounding, I'm very excited. I think this is a very, very good product. The thing looks freaking beautiful. Cheers to LSS on it. I do wish the price point was lower. I know I'm not unique on that. And I am waiting with bated breath to see how this fits in, right? So again, I'm not poo-pooing on this product. I'm not saying it's a bad product. I think the concerns I'm raising are reasonable, and we just need to pump the brakes and see what happens. I think FOMO will drive a fair amount of purchases when this drops, and I hope people don't get boned, but I also hope that people don't have a fear of getting boned and then do miss out. So like I said, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I think that's taking away from some of the otherwise really awesome things about this. So either way, I mean, I suspect that most players will go out and buy one of these. The question will be, does somebody go out and buy 20 of them because they realize everybody needs 2, and then we're in a product, you know what I mean? So there's so many things that could go wrong on this. But like I said, I think the biggest thing is just it does very much feel like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because we won't necessarily know until the next base set comes out. But then, maybe there's enough product and it's completely irrelevant. So we will find out. Like I said, I was kind of bordering on speculation there, but it's just where my head is at on the stuff to think about. Is like, if this happens, this could be good. If this happens, this could be bad. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not speculating on which way it's going to be. I mean, probably there's going to be unique stuff in there. Probably there will be, right? Meaning that you have to buy it to get it. So I think if you run out and you buy it, I don't think you're going to be ultimately disappointed. But you could be. I mean, but you could be disappointed the other way too. So anyway, that'll I think that's it today. Just sharing my thoughts, my takes on it. I really do think that this is not necessarily, and that just, it's good marketing. So cheers to them, right? It's good marketing. They're targeting who they know is going to go buy it first, and then using that to float the product and maybe drag some new people in. So fair enough, right? So anyway, that'll do it for me tonight, folks. Happy Friday. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon. If nothing else, folks, go Commando.